It's been a long wait, folks. Well, a long-ish wait. Longer for some of you than for me, because I didn't pick up the Tales of series until 2018, and I got Tales of Vesperia in 2019 as well, so it's been 2 years or so for me, but it still feels long. Likely in part because everything has felt long these past couple years. It sometimes felt like we would never get Tales of Arise, that we would get hints that the game was coming and that's all. Tantalizing footage without knowledge of when the next Tales of game would come. Endless speculation and months without... Okay, I'm done messing with you now. Tales of Arise looks great, has favorable reviews from those who played the demo, and is already likely to be a top contender for my game of the year. So yeah, I'm hyped for this one, and I hope it sparks a new era of solid Tales games. Tales of Arise is an action JRPG developed and published by Bandai Namco. It is the 17th mainline entry in the series, and the first new game to come out since Tales of Berseria back in 2016 if you were in Japan. According to news articles, the team behind the game was a blend of series veterans going back to Tales of Phantasia and complete newbies to working on Tales. It seems unsurprising then that they would aim for Tales of Arise to be a game for everyone. Veterans, newcomers, Japanese audience, Western audience, you name it. The theme for developing the game, according to Bandai Namco, was inheritance and evolution, and it certainly seems like they're trying to do just that. The game was originally announced at E3 2019 for a 2020 release that was then pushed back to 2021, and finally announced to be September 10th, 2021. Arise will be the first Tales game with a simultaneous worldwide release and will be coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X/S, and PC. A demo dropped on August 18th for the consoles, which unfortunately I was unable to play. Issues connecting my PS4 to the internet in my new apartment, plus the lack of PC demo, but looked really good from what I've seen from others playing it. There are plenty of consoles and ways for you to get your hands on the latest entry, but what will you be getting into with this game? Tales of Arise takes place in a world with two planets, Dana and Rena. Dana, verdant with natural resources but medieval in technology, has been subjugated by the people of Rena with their technological and magical superiority. Rena uses this advantage to press the Danans into slavery and steal their natural resources, further widening the gap between the two peoples. Enter our two main protagonists. Alphen, a native Danan originally called Iron Mask for the mask placed upon him before he escaped his enslavers. He has a condition rendering him incapable of feeling pain, which makes him a good match for our secondary protagonist, Xion. Xion is a woman from Rena who has a curse on her that hurts anyone who touches her. Oh, and also she somehow possesses a flaming sword that only Alphen can use due to it literally being flaming. Alphen and Xion decide that in order to reach their goals, they will have to work together, and also alongside a cast of characters with varied fighting styles and backgrounds. There may be some tension on all sides, but they need to work together to achieve their goal to change their fates and break the chains used to oppress the Danans. Based on the trailers so far, it really seems like they are pushing the themes of changing fate and freedom, which go hand in hand together. Whether they'll pull this off is another matter, but I certainly think they've chosen some dramatic themes that could easily set up for a strong story the whole way through. The main cast looks great, and their interactions in the demo gave me the same great cast dynamic I've experienced in previous Tales games, which is a solid sign. Clearly from the more cinematic trailers, there will be plenty of dramatic moments to pique the emotions, and the skits and other field or downtime dialogue indicate their strong bonds. I'm excited to see and hear more from them once the game is out. One thing I am curious about is the main opponents of the Tales of Arise cast. Thus far, the villains have been mostly shown in flashes with very few ideas as to their motivations or even identities. I mean, it makes sense in a story about slavery for the enemy to be the system itself, but I do hope there are some memorable villains as well to help focus our anger and determination. Now, for those who are familiar with the Tales series, the battle system is certainly based in the usual mechanics of the series. Action combat where you control one character out of 4 currently engaged in battle, arts that function as your main skills to deal damage or heal allies, and stringing together combos as you steadily take down your enemy's health. While the basic structure is much the same from previous entries, there are plenty of new mechanics to play with that will play a major role in how you fight. The first being the counter evade, which allows for a brief slowdown of time after a successful dodge for you to close back in and do some damage. According to some, this is reminiscent of 2009's Tales of Graces, which will have more meaning to those who have actually played that game. Seriously, Bandai Namco, you could be printing money if you ported Tales' catalog of games to modern consoles. Just follow what Koei Tecmo is doing with Atelier and you'll be fine. For those like me who haven't played Tales of Graces then, the comparison I would use is a quicker version of Isa's flash move. I really like this dynamic to combat because it adds in more to do defensively that still encourages you to press on the attack afterwards, keeping the action pumping. The next thing on the list are the boost attacks. Each member of your party can perform a boost attack that uses their specific talents to do a big attack against your enemies. They do take time to recharge after usage, but they are invaluable, especially when they can be used to mitigate an enemy's strength or target a weakness. On top of the boost attacks, we have boost strikes that are attacks performed by two allies at once that finish off or deal a significant amount of damage to an enemy. All in all, the battles look challenging, but you have plenty of great tools at your disposal to take out any of the monsters or humans standing in your way. Out-of-combat gameplay is also extensive, both in exploration, which has been expanded for Arise and even had the momentous inclusion of a jump button. To those who don't think this is a big deal, it's not, but it's still cool Tales have finally included it. On top of exploration, there are of course the standard side quests that you'll find as you explore around, materials to gather for crafting and cooking, farming, which probably plays into cooking, and even a new fishing minigame that likely also feeds into the cooking mechanic, but hopefully will be fun as well. The biggest change though to out-of-combat gameplay, that actually has relevance to in-combat gameplay as well, are the cure points. Cure points are a party-wide pool of points that are drawn on in battle to use healing arts instead of the point system for attack arts, which seems basically unchanged from Berseria. That's not all cure points are used for though. They determine what your health is at if you lose a fight and are used to clear aside obstacles on the map. These obstacles could be blocking shortcuts or hiding chests full of useful equipment, but given the limited amount of cure points, the player will need to pick and choose where to use them or risk being hamstrung in the next combat encounter. You can recover CP after resting, using certain items, or cooking certain foods. This is a system I can't say I'm particularly excited for, but I do want to give it a try before I take a firm stance one way or the other with regards to this new mechanic. One mechanic though I don't have to wait to take a stance on though is the collecting owls mechanic, which considering how cute Hootle is, it seems like a win-win to me. So adorable. There are two areas I have heard of consternation from Tales fans regarding the upcoming game though, so I'll give my thoughts on those here, starting with the skits. I enjoyed Berseria's skits and the way they were animated, but I do think the new skit style, which is very similar to Scarlet Nexus and their dialogue boxes, works pretty well. The characters remain the focus, and I always found the interactions amusing mainly due to the voice acting, although I wouldn't mind some splash panels like, oh, maybe this one from Berseria. The second area that sparked some complaints upon its reveal was the removal of the end-of-battle victory screens. Again, I like these too, but based on what I saw in the demo, the dialogue is still there at the end of battle, and there's an increase in banter between characters during battle, which I really liked and I think will give us that same feeling. You are completely valid if these changes don't sit well with you, but I think in the long run we're still going to be getting lots of charming character skits and battle banter in Arise. Art-wise, the game is a huge step for the series. The character designs and environments are far more vibrant than any previous Tales game, and I personally think the art is absolutely gorgeous. It's still recognizably Tales-inspired, but the progress the series has made is astounding. The characters, as I said earlier, look great. Maybe one or two questionable design choices, but for the most part they stand out in a very good way, especially Hootle. Who's your good owl friend? You're a good owl friend. The environments show off the art of the game very well with numerous incredible settings both in the landscape and cities and towns in the game. Lots of great things to look at in the game. This extends to the animated opening, along with other scenes in the game done by Ufotable, even if it's a distinctly different style from the rest of the game. Musically, I have nothing but faith for Sakuraba, and based on what I've heard so far, that faith is well founded. As usual, I've included several of the tracks shown in either trailers or the demos in this video for you to listen to, so you can make your own judgment on the soundtrack thus far, but I'm perfectly happy with it. That brings me finally to the voice acting. Ray Chase and Erica Lindbeck are both solid performers, and I'm sure they'll bring their best to Alphen and Xion. I also think the rest of the cast seem well suited for their roles thus far, so I'm looking forward to hearing them go through the story. Presentation-wise, the game exceeded all expectations I had for the next Tales game for art, met my lofty expectations for music, and seems to be doing alright for voice acting, as well as having an understandable, mostly unintrusive UI. The long wait is nearly done, and it appears to me that Tales of Arise will be well worth that wait. While there are obviously many things we still have yet to discover, especially regarding the story, the areas we do know more about, combat, presentation, and side content, all seem fantastic. I'm really excited to get the chance to dive into the series, and I hope Tales of Arise can rise to the challenge of living up to my hype. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video and comment below your thoughts on Tales of Arise as we creep closer and closer to release day. Subscribe to keep up with the channel, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Have a great day, and happy gaming!